since 11:30 about or after that for hours before the fire started, who ended up not being able to pick up their kids from school. So we do know that there have been folks that have self-locked down in their home for their safety during this. Of course, she came out when she saw the smoke and didn't want to be nearby just in case the wind has really been carrying this. So for her safety and for her family's safety, decided to come across the street.
Okay. All right.
And Lillian, one of the other things, as we take a look on the right side of your screen here, you can see some utility crews in the area. Obviously, one of the concerns anytime you have a fire, and certainly a fire that was this intense, are gas lines and power lines. Is power out to the...
Holy moly. What's up, everybody? I'm going to get on the camera in a second here. I just got home a couple minutes ago. There was a standoff earlier, and it says police say they originally received a call around 11:30 a.m. where a woman reported she escaped after being held hostage for several hours by her child's father, and her child could be in danger. Officials say the man does not live in the home with the woman and the baby. When police arrived at the home, they heard gunfire inside. They entered and located a 6-month-old that with several gunshot wounds. Wow. The 6-month-old baby was airlifted to the hospital. The mother reportedly suffered minor gunshot wounds. Holy shish. Monster Mama, thank you for the link on this.
See armored vehicles that have been stationed at the front. They've been going in and out throughout this process. They were trying to negotiate with the man they said was inside this home. Also just left to that, you can see multiple fire trucks that have been here. We were commenting just a little bit before this fire started that they had seemed to be setting up. There was an ambulance that came by and set up in another part of the neighborhood. And so they have been here monitoring this situation, but I'm sure no one could have seen this unfold the way it has throughout this afternoon. So obviously there are plenty more fire crews that are ready and on standby to go in, and they're still pouring water on this home. It is completely destroyed. There is no roof, and what's left on the roof, there are flames.
When you talk about APS, sometimes in a tactical situation like that, they bring APS in case they have to shut the power down to that house obviously before that fire, but utilities coming in case it spreads beyond this one house here, and depending on what they have to do in this situation.
Yeah, our Javier Soto joining me in studio here as we continue our ABC 15 coverage of this incredible situation that we have been following from surprise throughout the afternoon. A child shot, leading to a barricade situation, then leading to an incredibly intense fire and firefight. And now what you see here, the thick smoke coming from the remnants of that house. Yeah, and we're just hearing right now that Southwest Gas is arriving, as I just mentioned, utilities being called in to try to help the situation. For that, we want to turn to Ashley Holden right now. What can you tell us about Southwest Gas?
Yeah, well, we have seen 2 Southwest Gas trucks pull in probably within the last 30-45 minutes, and we are walking up here to try and get a closer view. I'm walking by Surprise Fire, Glendale Fire, many fire crews. I'm trying to count, and there's probably at least a dozen different fire cars or trucks that I'm walking by right now. We're getting a much closer look. We're going to try and set up our camera here. We have Surprise Police Mobile Command. That's what we're looking at, and we're going to try and get this shot up for you. Southwest Gas coming in probably about, as I mentioned, 30 minutes ago. They pulled into this area now where I'm walking, and we haven't been able to see kind of what they were doing because we have been held back. But this is the closest that we are getting. You might have our shot now. We've been trying to get it set up. Okay, our photojournalist is signaling yes. So we are looking at Goodyear Police, Surprise Fire, and we are getting a much closer look at this smoke here and what they have been battling. And as I've been telling you, as we're looking at this firefight, as we're looking at police here direct traffic through this area, the main question that a lot of people have is, where is the suspect? Is he inside? What has happened here? Especially because that is how this all started. So from where I'm standing, I can see the firefighter on top of a roof now spraying water on this home, and we do have a wall that is dividing us from that home, but we are able to see SWAT crews. They are discussing kind of where I'm at, if you guys can see that. They're standing here. We saw another person who was a member of the SWAT team that was talking to someone in their car, but it looks like they have their vehicles here loaded up, some of their equipment here loaded up on the back of this truck here. Now, of course, we're waiting to get a new update from police. We have fire crews also, some of them that are sitting here, and you can see again that they are directing traffic through this area, but still so many questions that people have. And of course, one of the main ones is, you know, where is that suspect and what has developed here as this firefight has been going on. I'm looking around to see, you know, if there's any signals for if the power is out, as you guys were talking about, but since it's during the day, we wouldn't have street lights that were on and we wouldn't have immediate signals of if the power was out. But I do see here, it looks like there are some neighbors here that have gathered and that we could possibly talk to that are watching this firefight here, and water actively being sprayed on this home, smoke still coming up. You've heard from quite a few neighbors about how they could smell it, how they could say it, they could see it from the interstate. So we're going to work to gather some more information from those neighbors, and we'll let you continue to watch this.
Ashley, thanks. We'll let you go talk to those neighbors. Also want to let you know that we have some new information coming into ABC 15 right now, that there will be a news conference coming up in about 15 minutes. So stay with us, because sometimes these things start a few minutes early.
All right, so everybody, welcome. If you're tuning in just now, Mustard Mama sent me the story, and I just got home, but they're going to have a press conference in 15 minutes. And what I know, apparently, the very little bit of information, they received a call, police, around 11:30 a.m., where a woman reported she escaped after being held hostage for several hours by her child's father, and her child could be in danger. So, and the guy doesn't live there. And so the cops show up, and when they show up, they hear gunshots inside of the house. And when they enter, they found a 6-month-old baby with several gunshot wounds, and the baby was airlifted. Now, I don't know if they caught this guy. What's to do with the guy? Before the fire broke out, police said they had not made contact with the man who was believed to be inside the home. So did he off himself and burn the place? I don't know. Insane. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this dude lit his ass up on fire, lit himself on fire. That's what I would think. The baby got airlifted. A press conference in 15 minutes. I guess I cut out the audio.
Have gathered from quite continue to watching
in 15 minutes. So stay with us because we're going to get a lot more information
of this home. I think Ashley put it out there. We're still trying to figure out where the suspect is. We're going to continue gathering information. We will take a break. We'll be right back.
Okay, so they took a break. Wow, that shit is scorched. Big ass house. Big ass house. And I mean, you hear a lot about these custody situations, or like not even that, just like well, this one says the father of the kid. If I can't have you, nobody can, and so I'm willing to kill everybody, you, the baby, whatever. This kid, this guy lit up his own child. Let me see if I can find out some more information on this. Okay. Baby shot multiple times. Fire breaks out during standoff.
News coverage continues right now. Flames shooting into the sky earlier today in Surprise near Cactus and Cotton Lane. An incredible firefight going on there this afternoon, but this started hours earlier with a child, an infant, shot several times.
There was some sort of domestic dispute that started this all. Allegedly, and according to police, a woman was able to make it out of that home. She alerted some construction crews. They called 911, and what she did tell them was there was a 6-month-old child inside with a man who was unstable. As police arrived, they say and reported that they heard gunshots. They were able to get inside and bring out that 6-month-old child. That child was airlifted to the hospital. The suspect then barricaded himself in this home shortly after a standoff in an attempt to make communication with that suspect. There's that video we're seeing right there. The house started up in flames.
And that suspect is believed to be that child's father. We want to get out to our Ashley Holden. She's been talking to some neighbors in the area. Ashley, what can you tell us?
Well, I'm standing here with Michelle Hunter, and you were actually sitting in one of these model homes.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what you're paid to do.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, at first, did not know what was going on, but walk us through how you found out.
I was showing two ladies a home, and I had got a call on my cell phone, and they're very easy to, or quick to call us if something's going on in the area. They said that they had a situation that they didn't feel comfortable with us still continuing to stay open, and that if we could please lock the models, and if anyone was in there, that please usher them out and let them know that there might be a little bit of danger outside, get in their car safely, and then leave the area as soon as they could.
Right. And that's something you guys do every day, because this is a new build area. You're showing people homes, your model.
All the time.
Yeah. And you were saying, we were talking about how at that time when you were driving to work, some of this was playing out. A mother possibly being held hostage is what she's told police.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me what you just kind of talked to me.
Just gut-wrenching, knowing that I have 6 kids and that you have to flee your home and leave your baby behind so you can alert the authorities, right? She had to make a split-time decision, and it's hard. It's hard to fathom that she had to make that choice. What we had heard, I was talking to a resident here. She had parked in front, and I had come out and I said, are you okay? She goes, yes, I have 2 small kids. They're asleep right now. I can't get into the community. The SWAT team is actually literally in front of my house because she lives across the street. And she said her husband said, just stay where you are. I offered them some cold water. I told them that we had some porta potties out here. I couldn't let anyone in, unfortunately. And she had told me about the 6-month-old. She said, I know that there's a small child in that house, and I hope that that baby's okay. We had no idea that what happened.
We're all hoping that 6-month-old is okay, and that mother who probably wished that she could be with her kids at that moment in time. You've also watched this firefight play out. I mean, what was your thought when you saw this home then catch on fire?
Yeah. Well, of course, the safety of everyone, but I just thought that the gentleman that was there, if it was a gentleman, that he either took the easy way out or he wanted some sort of diversion. And the way that the police maintained the area, I don't think he would have got away if he was trying to do that. But it's sad because it not only puts that home, obviously, at jeopardy. We have models across the street. We have families that are moving in. This is a happy time for people to purchase a new home. And he stole that from a lot of people today.
Well, I'm so glad you are okay. Thank you so much for talking to us, Michelle.
We pray for that baby.
Yes, we pray for that baby. And as I told you, and as we've been saying, that press conference coming up soon, I'll send it back inside to you guys.
Yeah, we're about 7 minutes away now, we believe, from that news conference going on. Ashley, thank you. We're going to take a quick break, gather some more information, and bring you the latest in our continuing coverage.
All right, so we're waiting on the press conference. Arizona Family's News chopper arrived over the scene and spotted armored SWAT trucks at the home area. The home's garage and windows. Wow, look at these guys. Ooh, that's the firefighters. I think this guy offed himself. These cowards, these pieces of shit, they kill children. They get upset when they don't get their way with the significant other. It's you're with me or we'll all die type of shit. These little coward pieces of shit. So, this guy probably shot up the kid. I hope that baby survives. Can't be good though. 6 months, shot multiple times, was airlifted. They don't know the status of this man. And it was a standoff. And then, I guess the place erupts. And we've seen this type of shit before. We've covered these types of standoffs. There was, what was that one? The Chinese guy or whatever he is? Or Asian or Filipino, whatever. That guy snapped in the house. I don't know why he snapped. And he started popping everybody. And then set the place ablaze and I guess killed himself. That's crazy, man. It is some crazy fucking times. Yo, it is no joke. Shit, look at the person next to you. Holy crap. People ain't got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, yo. JLB, thank you for the 25. Says, been here from the beginning. Love the channel. Always bringing the top stories. Thank you so much, man. You're right, miss. Not a man. I mean, even if you're having some type of issues with your significant other, or you can't work things out, or you hate the person, or they cheat on you, or whatever, you shoot your own child? All right, well, let's see if I don't know if we'll get the identity of the person. I don't know if it's going to happen at the press conference, but nieces and nephews, yeah, Donna. Yep. The end times, right, Danette? I mean, I used to joke about the end times. End of times used to have these streams, which I stopped doing because I was starting getting strikes on YouTube. But I realized there's certain things you can't show. Well, it depends. You know, it depends. The media seems to get more leniency, but there's certain things you can't show. And so I had to be more careful, and I kind of stopped doing that. I don't want to risk the channel. But it really is like the end of times. What part of Arizona? Let me see. Let me look at the article. It's a good question. So the area's
102 degrees, making it the hottest day.
The area's Cotton Lane and Cactus Road, but let me try to find out where in Arizona that is. Cotton Lane and Cactus Road,
Which has been around 15 to 25 miles per hour, with more of the same for tomorrow and also for the weekend, with highs staying in the lower 100s for Saturday and Sunday. And the latest in our breaking news coming up in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Waiting on the press conference. Let me see what else we got. Man accused. Authorities didn't say whether or not the father was inside the house when the fire broke out. The shooting and the fire took place in a new housing development near Loop 303 and Cactus Road. Doesn't say what part of Arizona, but no, is that what it is? The town is called Surprise. Jessica, when I saw that heavy smoke scene from Surprise home involved in earlier standoff. When I saw Surprise, I thought they meant it was actually a surprise. I didn't know that was the name of the town or the area. Wow. Okay. Surprise, the name of the city in Arizona. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna do a mic check. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Mic check 1 2. Mic check.
Press conference. See what's going on.
Mic check 1 2.
North Phoenix, like a suburb. Thank you, Kel.
It'll stay.
I thought they were telling me like it was a surprise. Yeah. Update on fire at Surprise home.
Wait. It's gonna stay? All right, let me just do a mic check for everybody so you guys can all check to make sure sound levels are good.
I'll turn it up a little bit. Surprise move to the devil's frying pan, right?
Go ahead.
Hoax.
Oh, that part. 0. There we go. I'll do a sound check again for everybody, make sure everybody's sound is good after we just did that adjustment. Everybody has good sound? All right, good afternoon again. My name is Sergeant Rick Hernandez. That's RICKHERNANDEZ. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Surprise Police Department. An update here on the barricaded situation we had at 168th Avenue in Jenin. As many of you saw, just after 3 p.m., the residents that we were focused on became engulfed in flames. Wow. At this time, of the fire, whether that was started by the suspect, what we can tell you is that will be further investigated. The response for the fire department was delayed because either the suspect was continuing to fire rounds in the residence or there was burn off of rounds inside that residence. Once the fire department deemed it safe to respond, they were able to respond to put water on that fire and reduce those flames. At this time, we do not have any report of any damage, fire damage to the surrounding homes. Obviously, so the full extent of that fire is unknown at this time. As far as the update on the particular suspect, we do not have an update to give right now. We are just waiting for the fire department to tell us that it is safe for us to enter that residence, and we hope to provide you with an update on that suspect soon. Our intention is, after this update, is to release a full press release with additional information. The timeline of that press release, though, is unknown at this particular time. We do not have an update on the injured child. We can tell you the injured child is currently in surgery, and once we have an update to provide, we'll provide you that. One key bit of information that did just make itself available to us is that we did learn that when officers...
I don't know why it's doing that.
We're having some technical difficulties right now. We will get that live shot up for you. What we've learned so far is this is happening at 168th Avenue. They say it started as a domestic situation at about 11 o'clock this morning. They say when they got there, that's when they were notified by a woman who made it out. Said there was a...
What we are going to ask for them to do is to call the Surprise Police Department non-emergency number at area code 623-222-4000. Again, that number is 623-222-4000. When they call that non-emergency number, they'll be able to get in connection with a dispatcher who can then provide them information or recontact them when it is safe for them to return home.
Sergeant, do you know where the baby was shot, please?
So I can tell you that the baby was shot multiple times in the lower extremities.
Wow.
What was PD's response when you were outside the home? Did you use flashbangs? Did you use anything that could have ignited the fire?
So all of that will be investigated with the Westford protocols. All of the tactics used right now will be basically summarized and captured by that.
Was the man known to be inside when this fire started?
So I can tell you that our tactical units that were here were able to confirm that he was inside the residence.
But he has not been pulled out, or as far as you know, is not in custody.
At this moment, he is not in custody. So once the you all were able to see the status of that residence, once they get the clearing to go into that residence, we might have an update on him.
Did this man shoot at officers?
So again, I know you weren't here earlier, but when officers responded, there was multiple rounds of gunfire that came from inside that residence.
What do we know about the father?
So what I can tell you is we aren't releasing his name at this particular moment. But I can tell you we did have one particular investigation involving this same couple that was reported to us 2 weeks ago, and that investigation is still open and ongoing.
Was that also domestic violence related?
All of the incidents are domestic violence related.
And can you clarify, you said during the response, one officer fired one round at the home, is that correct?
So at the information I was just given, literally moments before going on air, was one officer of the initial responding units did fire their weapon.
Could you give an update as to the injuries that the woman who was held hostage had? I know initially you said minor injuries.
And how she got out?
So they were minor injuries. We don't know how she was able to free herself. What we do know is she reported that her baby's father entered that residence at 3 o'clock in the morning. She was held there until about 11:30 when she was able to evacuate herself. You can see that this neighborhood is under construction. She was able to contact a construction crew and request that they call 911, and that's when the Surprise Police Department became involved.
And the recent call that you mentioned, was that to this home, or was that just in regards to the suspect?
It was in regards to this particular couple.
PD has technology to see if heat of a person is inside. Were you able to look to see if it appears he's still inside, or could he?
So that is ongoing as we're talking right now.
Sergeant, do you mind talking again about the knowing when the fire crews can go in? I know that might be a fire department question, but when it's safe for them to go in to keep the fire from spreading to other homes anyway.
So again, what I was told was that the fire did not spread to any of the homes. That was information I was looking to get out for everybody before we came on air. But I was told none of the other homes were affected. But again, there was a substantial amount of smoke, so that might be another issue altogether.
Did you tell residents to leave or to shelter in place during that barricade or during the fire?
A number of residents either self-evacuated when they were contacted. Some chose to shelter in place. As the incident progressed, many were asked to leave.
Is there any chance that this suspect could have gotten out of the home during the firefight?
So anything with that would always be under investigation. It is believed right now that the suspect was contained in the home throughout.
Now you mentioned that there was an incident of domestic violence 2 weeks ago, and then you mentioned that the suspect entered a home today. Did they live together? Were they living apart? Did he break in last night?
So the suspect does not live at this residence. The female and the baby, this is their residence. The suspect does not reside here in Surprise.
Babies on a lot of people's minds. You said they were going into surgery. Is that correct?
That's correct. So again, when officers heard the volleys of fire, when they were approaching, they had already had that confirmation that child was inside, and the mom believed the child was in danger. And so that is when the officers forced entry. Upon forced entry, our understanding is that officers almost immediately located the injured child, took that injured child, got the child to care. With our particular situation here in Surprise, we are very, very lucky that we have a trained fire crew. They're called tactical emergency medics that respond to a lot of these types of calls. We got them to trained professionals who are able to render that immediate aid before the child was airlifted.
Can you talk about the complexity
of the child?
We're not releasing any of that at this point.
Or where they were taken? Were they taken to?
Can't tell you where that.
Can you talk about the complexity
About the domestic violence incident?
So what I can just tell you is active and ongoing. This is information that, again, is fairly new to us. We don't have really a lot of history at this particular residence. And then when that incident was reported, the residence that was affected here, that was not used. But we do have one incident that is currently under investigation outside of today's.
By Surprise Police.
That's correct.
Can you talk about the complexity of this case and I mean, just how many moving parts, how difficult this has been in comparison to other cases?
Well, you can obviously see there's a lot of resources out here. The biggest thing that we want everybody to know is that when a call came into 911, our officers were ready to put themselves in that line of fire, in the danger, for the betterment of that young child. Right now, that child is clinging to life. That child is in surgery. That child has an opportunity to recover, and that is what our officers are focused on right now. Is that we provided that child that opportunity to recover. With that, there's a lot of moving parts that are going on. This will be investigated, as I said, by the West Valley Incident Response Team. I cannot tell you at this moment whether or not Buckeye or Glendale will be the primary agency. That information will be coming forward to you. Like I said, we anticipate a full press release later on this evening, and because of the complexity of this and all the moving parts, we are also anticipating having a joint press conference either late this weekend or maybe Monday morning with all the agencies involved.
Can you release if the baby is a female or a male baby?
We're not releasing that at this time. And with that, I appreciate you all. And like I said, we will be getting a press release out to you all shortly. Thank you.
A lot of new information coming from that news conference that we just heard from Surprise Police. And I think the primary thing that most people are worried about is the condition of that young baby, that 6-month-old child. We're learning the child is clinging to life in surgery right now after being shot multiple times in the child's lower extremities.
Yeah, and according to police, so this started at 3 o'clock this morning. The suspect does not live at that home. Apparently made entry into the home, held the mom and baby hostage until she was able to escape at about 11 o'clock. Called police, told police that her baby was in danger. Police said that once they responded there, they were met with gunfire. One of the officers returned gunfire, and that's when they actually went in and were able to remove that baby.
You're going to have much more ABC 15 coverage, but we're going to take a short break right now.
Okay. Well, that's that, I guess. I believe personally this guy's crisp, burnt in this side of this place after shooting the baby. I'm not sure what these people do to accelerate the fire, what they're using to burn the whole place down. But I think this guy burned inside alive. Unless he pulled off some miraculous, escape. Whitney says, per Arizona CBS 5 News article, as of 3:15, family members said the baby is doing okay. Well, let me see. This press conference said the baby was in surgery. That's it. That's amazing if the baby survives. Shot in the lower extremities multiple times. Let's see. Little coward. He just died himself. Good. Fuck it. Piece of shit. I hope the baby survives. Baby's in the hospital. Family members said the baby's doing okay. The child is still undergoing surgery. Okay, so I will see. Hopefully, they're going to do a press release. I'll update it on Twitter, I guess. I don't blame the mother. Twitter paid it. I know you're not talking about me, but maybe you're talking about the chat. I don't blame the mom. And if the baby survives, mom probably did the right thing, because honestly, this guy would have probably killed her too. He probably was going to kill her. That mother, she was held hostage for hours. I can't imagine that feeling though, having to leave your kid behind. Yeah. To try to run off and try to get help. But I definitely want to update it when we hear about the actual identity of the person. People just nuts. People are freaking nuts. Bad shit, fuck it. It's just everywhere. And it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. Hasn't gotten better. With all the so-called resources and all the medications and all this stuff. Yeah. Well, I believe the guy killed himself, so that's why I say it too. I think that guy's deceased. The father, I don't think he's no longer alive. They cut off the feed? Yeah, I truly believe the mother would have got shot too. Well, that's probably true too. The meds be having all these crazy side effects. The meds side effects is suicide and everything else. Everything under the list. Depression, suicide, ideations or whatever. Wow. All right, well, I guess I'm going to get off for now. For tonight, I will be, if there's other breaking news like chases or whatever, I will be back on this page because I have 2 notifications for tonight. And then tomorrow, we'll see what happens the rest of the weekend. But hopefully the baby makes it okay. How did the house catch on fire? I think the guy lit it on fire. We've seen this before. It's not the first time. They didn't say anything about the gun. Nope, nothing about the gun. The caliber, what kind of gun, nothing. I did, Sally. We might come back later and do the Diddy video. I don't even know if I can play it all, but yeah, Diddy's under fire for what he did to Cassie. A 2016 video came out of him beating this woman. So.
Injuries while the silent fled in a vehicle. Yeah, I say to them, just like I said to Tupac when I saw him in the lobby of that hotel in Chicago. He said, "Hey man, help me, man, give me."
All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Hopefully the baby makes it out okay. All right, take care.